He fell further than anyone expected. Whispers filled the pre-draft air, rumors that sent shockwaves through war rooms and sent one of college football's most dominant talents into decline. Teams hesitated, headlines questioned, but one franchise saw something different, an opportunity hidden beneath the noise. And now, what was once called a risk is quickly becoming the most talked about surprise of the offseason. Come with me and I'll tell you all about it. Hit the like button and let's go. He was supposed to be a risk. He was labeled a gamble. James Pierce Jr., the edge rusher once ignored by headlines and ignored by teams, has arrived in Atlanta, and the early signs suggest something Falcons fans can rarely say with such confidence: we may have struck gold. You remember the draft chatter. How could you not? From being labeled as worst player to speculation that he was off the board on several draft boards, James Pierce Jr. was the center of a firestorm that threatened to completely sink his value. And yet, amid all the noise, the Atlanta Falcons saw something different. They saw potential. They saw production. And most importantly, they saw a player who just wanted to play football. From the moment he stepped into Flowery Branch, the conversation began to shift. Falcons coaches, players, insiders, everyone started saying the same thing. This guy is not who the pre-draft rumors made him out to be. Not even close. He's quiet. He's serious. He's intentional. He's all about football. And through rookie minicamp, OTAs, and now mandatory minicamp, he's done nothing but live up to that reputation. Now here's where it gets interesting, Falcons fans. This isn't just about a rookie defying the critics. It's about a franchise, your franchise, willing to trade back into the first round, giving up a 2026 first, a 2025 second, and a 2025 seventh, to grab a player they knew was going to drop. Not because he wasn't talented, but because of the fog of misinformation. And Atlanta cut through it like a team that knew what it was doing. Like a front office that finally, maybe, has a real plan. Pierce, who dominated at Tennessee, had back-to-back seasons with over 20% pressure and win rates on the edge, an elite metric. According to multiple charting services, no other edge defender matched that consistency in this class. He didn't just flash, he produced. And yes, he dipped in sacks this past season, finishing with 7.5, but anyone who actually watched the games could see why. Offensive lines schemed around him. Double teams. Chips. Anything but letting James Pierce Jr. wreck their Sunday. Even then, he still racked up 55 pressures. So what did the Falcons see? They saw a guy who didn't fold under pressure. Who didn't lash out when the media questioned his maturity. Who showed up, kept his head down, and worked. Head coach Raheem Morris described him as really smart, sharp, articulate, a guy who makes eye contact, asks questions, and speaks with intent. Not flashy. Not loud. Just focused. And Morris knows the type. He compared Pierce's demeanor to A.J. Terrell, another quiet leader in the Falcons' locker room. That's not a knock. That's a strength. And Morris, showing the instincts of a true leader, made the decision to pair Pierce with Terrell early. Two guys who might not shout the loudest but will absolutely hit the hardest. Think about what that means for a rookie entering the league, going from top dog at Tennessee to the new kid in a locker room full of grown men. That kind of mentorship isn't just smart, it's essential. We're looking at a player who wants no part of the spotlight, but every part of the action. As Pierce himself put it, he'd rather let his tape do the talking. And that tape? It's saying plenty. Now, Falcons Nation, here's the kicker, this whole narrative that buried Pierce in the pre-draft process? It's starting to feel like a smokescreen. A misdirection that let one of the most dangerous edge defenders in the draft fall right into Atlanta's lap at pick 26. So let's say it plain, every other team that passed on him? Thank you. Seriously. Thank you for letting him drop. Thank you for buying into the noise. Because if this is who James Pierce Jr. really is, then we didn't just get a steal, we got a cornerstone. That's part one of this deep dive into the James Pierce Jr. story, and I want to hear from you. Falcons fans, what do you think about this pick now that the dust has settled? Are you as fired up as I am? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while the media frenzy painted him as a risk, every indication from inside the Falcons organization tells a different story. You see, this isn't just about a pass rusher, this is about culture. About finding guys who not only fill a need on the field but fit a mold off of it. In the case of James Pierce Jr., what might have once been perceived as a personality concern is actually just a different way of operating, one that's laser-focused on improvement, not performance for the cameras. Raheem Morris and his staff did their homework. Not just background checks. They made calls, had conversations, did real due diligence. They saw through the media fog and recognized that Pierce's reluctance with the spotlight wasn't a red flag. It was a reflection of how deeply he wants to prove himself in the right way. Not with headlines. With hits. And Atlanta knew exactly what they were doing when they sacrificed future capital to bring him in. Let's break down the value here. The Falcons had already taken a defensive playmaker earlier in the draft. But they saw Pierce still sitting there at pick 26. And that triggered a move that might define this draft class. Giving up next year's first-rounder isn't something this front office does lightly. But they knew what they were getting. A guy whose on-field tape screams top 15, top 10 even. A player who, without the cloud of character questions, probably wouldn't have made it past pick 12. And that brings us back to Raheem Morris' decision to match Pierce with A.J. Terrell. That wasn't by chance. That was intentional. He saw two guys who share that quiet killer instinct. Who don't need to be vocal leaders to command respect. Think about the best defenses you've seen. Think about how often the anchor isn't the one shouting in the locker room, but the one who sets the tone in every drill, every snap. That's what Atlanta is cultivating here. And it's working. Word out of minicamp is that Pierce is already showing flashes, strong first steps, relentless motor, and a feel for the game that you can't coach. Coaches are raving. Teammates are buying in. There's a buzz in Flowery Branch that feels different. But here's the real twist: the national media hasn't caught on yet. They're still running off the pre-draft script, not realizing the post-draft reality. And that, Falcons fans, puts us in a beautiful position. While the rest of the league is sleeping on James Pierce Jr., we get to watch his story unfold in real time. This could be the start of something special. A player who was passed over, talked down, doubted, now becoming a cornerstone of a defense that's finally finding its identity. He's got the tools. He's got the temperament. And now, he's got the team. So when the regular season kicks off, and Pierce lines up across from some of the best defensive tackles in the game, remember this moment. Remember the noise, the rumors, the skepticism. And then watch as he turns all of that into fuel. This is the kind of player you root for. Not because he's flashy, not because he talks a big game, but because he just plays. Plays hard. Plays smart. Plays for Atlanta. And for a team that has so often been defined by what might have been, maybe James Pierce Jr. is the first step toward what's next. So here's what I want you to do, Falcons fans. If you believe in this kid the way this coaching staff does, if you're fired up about what this pick means, hit that like button. Smash that subscribe. And more than anything, let me know in the comments, what do you think James Pierce Jr.'s ceiling is? Are we looking at the future face of our defense? We're going to be here all season, breaking down every move, every breakout, every turning point. But right now, it's your turn. Talk to me in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this community and keep this energy going strong. Go Falcons!